from?
I don't know.
What's your name?
Emily. Sophia.
My name's Sophia.
My name's Emily. We've got Pete on sound.
As always.
This is Guffanti Brunettes. Welcome to the show.
Welcome, everybody.
How you doing? What's up?
Nothing really. How are you, Em?
What? That is the first time you have come on.
Really.
And not have anything to say. I didn't have the best week, but I'm doing okay because I'm still moving.
You're choosing to have the best week.
I'm choosing to now create. I was so busy. I was on set. That's like
She's
such a
an
humble bracket.
actress.
I can't believe I was like on set all weekend, but like I was for like 12 hours on one day and like 8 on the other. And then I've been working, and I just feel like I literally have not had a moment to catch up with my life, which is why I'm so happy to be here.
I'm in the same boat. I've been doing a lot of Halloween makeup.
Yeah, it was Halloween, and you wanted us to dress up as stuff for today.
I thought we should have dressed up for this video, and Emily was just like the Halloween Grinch. She wanted nothing to do with it.
I said no. I said I'm not dressing. Like, what would I even be?
And I'm really upset about it because I don't even think I'm going to get to dress up because I'm doing so much makeup.
For other people?
For other people, and I'm really glad that I didn't add the video that you edited for me.
Yeah.
I mean, if you follow Guffanti's page, you saw my 5 o'clock shadow third eye tutorial. And if I added that, I think I would have lost all my makeup clients.
Well, so
for
Sophia,
this Halloween.
Sophia did this makeup video, and I edit her makeup videos. Have we talked about this on here?
I don't think we have.
We have?
No,
about how she was...
No, we talked about it afterwards.
Did we talk about it to you or on here, Pete?
We didn't talk about it.
I don't think we talked about it.
But
on
we
here.
posted on Guffanti Brunettes the video, so you can refer to that to know what we're talking about.
We might have already talked about it, but I edit Sophia's videos, and she had this video where she did third eye Halloween makeup, and like it involves like the bottom half of her face being a skull, and I didn't think it looked that bad. There goes the high pitch voice.
Her voice went really high. It looked really bad. I took a lot of Vyvanse because I thought concentrating for the video would be great. But
well, I mean, normally the makeup
it just made
videos,
my hands shaky.
Well, and normally the makeup videos you send me to edit are like an hour of footage, maybe. This was like
real
easily
perfectionist.
2 hours of footage, and I knew you were on Vyvanse because halfway through you stopped talking and just got like really close to the camera and went over what you did like 7 times each.
And then you know, at the end, I was just like, well, I'm really happy with the way this turned out. And you could see the fear in my eyes and how scared I was looking at myself. Like my skull literally looked like a beard.
Yeah.
Like a Eddie from That's So Raven beard.
Yeah. I know. And it was so funny because you did say at the end, like, I'm actually really happy with how it came out. Like, I'm really glad that this is what it looks like. So please, it was, yeah. But anyway, I went to a Halloween party on Friday, but like, I don't know. I've gotten like so not into Halloween. I guess unless there's a costume I can do that's like really good. Like last year I was Jackson Maine from A Star Is Born, and that was so
amazing.
good. Unless I have something like that, like I don't need to do Halloween. I don't really care. But so I went to this party on Friday, and I was going with John and our friend Brady, and he was like, guys, apparently everyone there is like really in costume. And I was like, well, I don't want to dress up. So we put like eyeliner on our noses and whiskers and just like did
You did a cat?
or whatever. But
I get so mad at people when I see them as a cat on Halloween.
It's like, just don't do anything.
It's like
if you're
one
gonna
of
do
my
cat.
friends is a police officer. You know who? Halloween every year.
Oh, yeah.
Halloween every year.
Yeah.
And she knows who she is
Yeah.
because she's listening. And it's like, get a new fucking costume.
Yeah. I know, cat and mouse is like that, but it was funny because I was at this party and like someone came up to me and they were like, oh my God, you're a 1980s bully. I get it. And I was like, what?
Wait, what?
Because I was in my varsity jacket and like high-waisted jeans and like my hair and like barrettes in my hair, and they were like, oh my God, I get it. You're a 1980s bully. And I was like, no, this is just what I look like. But honestly, I was flattered that, because I always get 1980s, but I was very flattered that they called me a bully because that meant that I was intimidating.
Like a lot of authority.
Yeah, no one ever thinks I'm intimidating.
Really?
I guess maybe men. Like, I feel like men, when I was single, like I never used to get approached at bars.
I think I'm
no one hit
very
on me.
unapproachable.
I don't know though.
I don't get approached much.
Yeah, I guess we both don't.
I really don't. Well, I do. And then once I think my little personality comes out, they get real scared.
I would always be the person at bars with friends who was either the wingman or like their funny friend who's embarrassing herself.
Yeah, I get used to be the funny, the funny, comedy for the other person to get fucked.
Yes, always. And anytime I'd be at a party, or even I'm sure you remember in high school, I would make a fool out of myself trying to hook up with somebody because they were just like, no. And I would go after them, and it was embarrassing.
Yeah, I'm definitely the same way.
Yeah, but
I think I'm definitely the same way.
But then I go I know I'm not ugly. Like I'm not.
It has nothing to do with our appearance. It has everything to do with personality
and energy. And I think
some guys love it though.
Some guys love it.
Not all. Most of them don't.
Most of them don't, which is really interesting when you think about it, because shouldn't guys love girls who will challenge their presence in a room?
Well, yeah, and I noticed that there was a hot guy I posted on Snapchat. He messaged me back because I was dancing to the beat of my windshield and it sounded like it farted. But I didn't say anything about the windshield wiper farting. And he was like, "Oh my God, haha, hate when that happens. I could tell you're really feeling it." And I was like, "Haha, no, it just sounded like a fart."
Oh, he was like, "Oh, I hate when I fucking fart when I'm happy." Yeah. Is that what he was saying?
No, he was saying he thought it was funny that I was dancing to the beat of the windshield wiper, but I reassured him that it wasn't that. It was that it sounded like a fart. I was dancing to the beat of the fart sound. Oh. And I was like, if I'm trying to, I could have easily, tried to flirt with him a little bit because he, slid in and he was like, "Haha, you're so funny," but I just started talking about farting instead.
Yeah.
That's...
But I don't think that's even... I mean, I do think that, I think your appearance is also more intimidating than mine, first of all.
I don't think any guy's intimidated by my appearance. And in fact, I know that guys don't like girls who wear a lot of makeup. We don't get, girls like girls who wear a lot of makeup, and they're like, "Oh my God, you're so pretty." Guys see that lash that's hitting your eyebrow, and they're like, "That girl is, made up. She is face painted. She looks like a clown."
Do you think so?
Yeah, I mean, I know, because every time I've dated a guy, they've always been like, "Can you wear a little less makeup?"
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah, girls are always like, "Wow, she's so..."
It's still, yeah, you can leave everything.
Yeah.
Okay, we had a little glitch there. We're back.
Yeah.
I feel like I feel like I am jealous of girls who wear no makeup more than I'm jealous. Jealous is not the right word.
But I know what you mean.
I have friends who go out in the day with no makeup on, and I'm like, how the fuck do you do that?
I'm very jealous of that.
Yeah.
I wear a full face.
But that's
I spend an hour, and that's how I feel about it. I spend an hour in the morning getting ready, and it's just I see girls who look beautiful without makeup on, with their pretty hair and maybe a swipe of mascara and a gloss. I'm like, no, I have to paint myself every single morning.
Okay, but here's where I'll disagree with you. I have to
draw a skid mark on my cheek.
I disagree with you because I think that you are so pretty without makeup.
Not lately. I've been.
It's really everybody's their own worst critic, because I really feel like you could walk out the door with no makeup on.
Lately I do have to wear a lot on my face because the breakouts on my chin are getting nuts.
Well, you have to stop going for electrolysis, where it burns off your chin.
I know, but it's either a beard or electrolysis. Tilt your head back. You could see it. It's my neck and my chin.
Yeah, it's not that bad.
It is without the makeup because it's a color. It's like a red color.
Oh.
So I have acne all over my chin now.
So are you going to still keep going for electrolysis?
I'm going to keep going for a year, like she told me I have to do. So I have to spend $45 a week every week. And then I'll go for Fraxel, which is $1,000.
Oh my God. Speaking of money, today I did another Aritzia thing. I spent $639 at Topshop.
I was so jealous of your shopping spree that a couple days ago I spent $600 and then I got upset that I couldn't buy everything that was in my cart, so I went on my PayPal credit, which is only a $300 limit, and I used all of it on PayPal credit. I've just been doing that every night. Little little shopping benders.
Yeah.
You know, I'm getting back to my real manic bipolar self because I'm off of my drugs and I'm shopping up a storm.
Yeah. I mean, I've never understood shopping binges until I guess lately, because I am it's so weird. I'm so stingy with like the Subway, and I'm stingy with like drinks and like groceries, but I will then drop hundreds of dollars on clothes. I don't know when I became this person. Really what happened was I went on Topshop, because this is what happens. This is how you get manipulated. Just like with Aritzia, I went in for the puffer coat and I walked out with $800 of clothes.
I love when you do that.
Then I went on Topshop today because I was like, I need a new pair of black jeans for the winter. Like, it's time for me to get a new pair of black jeans.
Yeah.
Simple purchase. I knew the ones I want to get. I want to get all black Jamie jeans from Topshop.
I love an all black purchase.
An all black purchase.
Yeah.
So I go on Topshop for the jeans, and then I find out, well, it's 25% off Adidas.
Well,
so I start looking
better
at
save money on that.
So I start looking at the Adidas stuff, and I find these pants I like. And then I'm like, well, I should also maybe just like look around at what's on sale. And so this is also because I was waiting on approval at work. So I'm like looking around, and then I'm talking to Chloe. We're like slacking at work. Slack is for people who don't have Slack, it's like a messenger app. We weren't slacking off, even though yes, we were.
Yeah.
So I was talking to her, and she was like, oh my God, wait, let me like find you some things. And cause she's like definitely more fashionable than I am, and like
Chloe has a great sense of fashion.
Yeah. And she takes fashion risks. Like, I will go to Topshop and buy like a couple black sweaters, white t-shirts, like the same shit. I buy the same shit.
Me too.
So
I have that problem.
She starts sending me these items that I'm like, whoa. And she was like, you should add these to your wardrobe. They're cool and you would look great in them.
I would like if Chloe could help me shop too.
I know. So then I was like, wait, like send me more stuff. Then next thing you know, my cart is at like $800.
And you bought it all.
Well, I was like, okay, let's go back through the cart and analyze each item if I really need it. We wound up knocking one thing off. It was this like coat, not even a coat. It was like a light jacket that I didn't need. So we knocked that off. We get it down to $700. Then Topshop has a student discount. So I put in my NYU info and I got 10% off, which of $700 is $70.
I can't believe you still get an NYU discount.
Well, you could get a discount too.
For what?
Oh yeah.
For Watchung Hills?
You didn't go to school.
Do you have a high school ID?
Oh my God.
I used RV for a little bit in cosmetology school, but like that only worked for a hot minute.
I mean, you could really get away with like just using someone else's. Like if you know, and even like Joey's law school.
Can I use your NYU ID?
Yeah, if you like want to get a discount on Topshop, I can get you 10%. Well, I wouldn't have done it, but 10% off of $700 was $70 off. So my purchase came down to $639, and I got 10 things. I got a coat included in there. I got 3 pairs of jeans.
Wow.
4 pairs of pants.
See, I need help shopping because every single purchase I get, I'm like it's all black. Everything is black.
I know you've come in with some different stuff.
I get like
a gray sweater.
I know, but gray, black.
The orange hoodie.
I do. The orange hoodie was a great buy, but it's like, how many times can you wear that orange hoodie until everyone's like, she's wearing a highlighter orange hoodie every single day?
I know, and I wear my orange
and that's how
hoodie.
I reason with myself when I'm shopping. I'm like, am I gonna wear this orange hoodie most of the time, or am I gonna wear the black hoodie? I'm gonna wear the black hoodie.
I know, but I've literally warned my office because like they like follow me, and after my Aritzia scandal
Aritzia scandal.
After I told the whole story on my Instagram story, I was like talking about it with my coworkers because they follow me, and I was like, I need all of you to know right now that I cycle through a limited number of clothing, and I'm going to repeat a lot. So now I have liberated myself from the embarrassment. Goodbye. And you know what I do every week?
What?
Pretty much every week. Whatever I wear on Saturday, I wear on Monday.
Oh, wow.
Because the weekend doesn't see me on Monday morning.
Well, I used to do that when I was at Mac. I would wear what I wore to Mac. Then the next day I would work at Kaleidoscope and I'd just wear what I wore to Mac.
Yeah.
At Kaleidoscope the next day.
It's a lot easier.
It's so much easier. I worked at Mac.
Yeah.
And Kaleidoscope.
Yeah.
Did I tell you about the Jehovah's Witnesses?
You started to, and it was too crazy. I literally was like, save it for the podcast.
So for the past like 5 weeks, maybe a little more than that, every single Wednesday has been started with the Jehovah's Witnesses coming to my house. And there was only one time that I answered the door, and I was feeling really spiritual that morning. I usually do my meditation in the morning, and I was just like, okay, I'm going to entertain this, and I'm going to, like, you never know. Maybe you'll pick up a new religion. Maybe maybe like you'll learn something new. You don't know. I didn't even know what like being a Jehovah's Witness was.
I still don't. It's some branch of Christianity, right?
I think. I mean, I still don't know. We talked for a little bit. I invited them into my house.
Sophia.
I know, I shouldn't have done that. I invited them into my house, asked them if they wanted coffee. So of course they would think like I'm very interested.
Wait, the Jehovah's Witnesses come to your door and you invite them in and go, come on, you want some coffee?
They're like, we just want.
They came
they were just
into
like,
your
they,
house?
Listen, they were like, we just want to read you a few scriptures, and I was like, oh, let's do it
Were
over
they black?
coffee. Yeah.
Are you doing a black voice?
Yes.
You always put on your black voice when you imitate black people.
It's not. It's actually the voice that they had.
But
it's not like there's black people who don't talk like that. I'm giving. That's the voice they had.
I know.
Okay.
Just like I instantly knew.
Now I feel weird doing it, but I want to.
Well, just tell me in your voice what they said.
Okay. Well, they were like, do you something along the lines of like, do you appreciate what you have? They're like, some kids don't appreciate what they're like, in this day and age, you see a lot of kids who aren't grateful for what they have. And I was like, I mean, I really try and appreciate everything. I try and appreciate.
You are the only person that would welcome Jehovah's Witnesses into your house and really listen to what they have to say.
And they asked me if I was spiritual. I told them I was reading The Power of Now. I told them where I worked. I told them all about Eckhart Tolle, and they were like, that's like along the same lines. It's just like, and they started talking about it. And I was like, this is really interesting. So then for a few weeks now, they've been coming to my door every week, and my mom has to answer, and they like wait for hours. They wait for not for hours, but there was like the UPS guy came and they were still there and they were talking to the UPS guy, and like I got a package. I couldn't even go to the door, and they visited me at Mac. And they're like, we tried to visit you. When are your hours? When can we like see you? And I was like, oh my God, like how am I going to get rid of them?
That's like a cult.
I know.
What is Jehovah's Witness?
Well, I had someone on my Instagram tell me that they are like a Jehovah's Witness, and they were like,
who's Jehovah?
I don't know who Jehovah is.
And what did they witness?
I should have asked that. Well, you know what? Maybe
we are Jehovah's Witnesses.
Maybe next Wednesday I'll get to the bottom of it and I'll be like, listen, I'm not interested. Because I really do have to say something, because I'm just sitting, hiding in my kitchen every Wednesday, like waiting for them to leave. And then they put like a little letter a little slip in my door. And what did it say? It said, when will the suffering end? And then it was like a multiple choice question. It was like, forever, like, or what did it say? Do you remember?
Sophia sent me the picture of it this morning, of the pamphlet that they left in her door, and it said, when will this ever end? And I answered you, and I was like, honestly, in the state I'm in right now mentally, I would see that and go like, I'm in.
Wait.
Count me in. I want the suffering to end.
I know, but wait, what did it say?
Is that Ozzy Osbourne on the TV? No.
That's not Ozzy Osbourne. That's who you thought I looked like? No. Oh, it said, will suffering ever end? Would you say yes, no, maybe? That's like,
wow.
Maybe? Who's going to answer the question as maybe the suffering will end?
I mean, I really feel like there is, like, as much as I feel like religion is not... I'm not religious, and like I don't keep up with Judaic practices, and like I don't celebrate the holidays really unless I'm with my parents. And I don't practice at all, but like I still feel like I'm a spiritual Jew, and like I feel culturally Jewish. But I can't get myself to do any of the religious practices because it just doesn't feel authentic. Yeah. And the thing is though, like I feel like I think about that about most religions, about like how it's not really like, you know, it doesn't really, I that's the perspective I have on religion in general. But lately I've been going like, you know what? There is something so valuable, if you ignore the extremist sides of religions, like I think
just having faith and hope,
and like being a reformed level of like being religious, like it's a pretty beautiful thing to put your faith in the world like that and live your life by, sure, you live your life by a set of rules that like may or may not be real. But I bet you that there are a lot of religious people, I don't want to say religious people who like are super extreme and like don't believe that like gay people are like deserving of like that level of religious.
Sometimes
I think is
that's
crazy.
not even a religious person. That's like a politically.
No, I know,
Yeah.
but a lot of that tends to align with like extreme Christianity and like
Yeah.
blah, blah, blah. But, and even like super Orthodox Jews, like the way they look at women, I don't agree with at all. Like, but I have been thinking lately, like, I think there is totally a really valuable thing about religion at a reasonable level that like provides a lot of human beings with a level of faith and like, grounded happiness and love in life that I feel like
And a sense of just community and coming together. And,
I feel like I spent so much time in my college years and like even a couple years after college, like just like totally shitting on religion. But then it's like, no, I feel like I
don't really feel like you ever shat on religion.
I mean, but like I did. I definitely.
I always felt like you were very Jewish.
My thesis paper at college was I wrote like a 25-page paper on how Christianity was a big root of racism in America.
Oh.
So I really took a fat dump on religion.
Yeah.
But I think when I talk about religion, I'm a lot of the times talking about how a lot of Christianity is intertwined in the politics of America. I do feel very Jewish. I do feel like I believe in God and I believe in like a lot of Jewish principles and like, would I still believe in the same morals if I wasn't raised Jewish? I don't know. Maybe I would, maybe I wouldn't.
Yeah.
I don't know what I'm getting at.
I mean,
That's always what I say to my therapist. Yeah, I don't really know what I was getting at with that, but
you know what I say to my
like,
therapist that I noticed today? I'm always like, yeah. And I thought that was really interesting.
Everyone has their one thing of like, I'm done talking, please take over.
I know. I was like, and then he usually stares at me for a minute and really
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, are you like, what did you think about that? Like, I try and he's like, you're interrupting my train of thought.
Oh, see, when I stop talking and like my therapist just looks at me as if it's my turn, I cave and I just look away for a minute and I'm like, yeah, and so I guess like, and then I bring something else up because she won't. And so I'm like, instead of going like, what do you think? I'll just like keep talking.
I usually finish out my story because I talk so much and then I'm like, and I thought that was really interesting.
Yeah, I talk way too much in therapy. Like on Monday, I went on Monday.
Your session for her is probably so easy.
I always wonder, like, how do you know if you're your therapist's like easiest or worst? Does she like me? I kind of leave my sessions and I go like, she must like want to be my friend.
Well, today's therapy session was actually like, he put his hand in his head and he was just like so disappointed because every week we talk about the same thing and every week I don't listen and I do the same thing I wasn't supposed to do over again.
Right.
You know, like I went to the bar. I did a few terrible things this past weekend. I went out with my sister. I went to the bar that I was kicked out of 3 times. I like hid my face. I actually didn't want to go, but Gabby was like, my sister was like, I really, really, really want to go. Can we just try? They're never going to kick you out, Sophia. Like, come on.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, fine. I was like, if they say something to me, I'm going to be so embarrassed because I'm really like I don't like confrontation. Like,
no, me neither. Oh my
especially
God.
if it's like about something I did that was wrong. Like, I know that I didn't pay the bill a few times. I know that I like got kicked out. I knew that I was singing at the top of my lungs while people were trying to eat their nice dinner.
Yeah.
So I walk in, I sit at the table and they were like, listen, we love you here, but if anything crazy happens, you're out. Like, we're going to kick you out. And so I immediately felt cold, and my embarrassing feeling is hair being pulled away from my head. What's your embarrassing feeling? Mine has always been, since I was a little girl, hair being pulled like it's in a tight ponytail.
Oh, what is my embarrassing feeling?
I mean,
I think my stomach really hurts and I get like a ball in like my esophagus, like between my chest and my stomach. And when I think about like, I put this on my Instagram story the other day. When I think about like the next day, something I said to someone the night before when I was like really drunk or like on one, I will literally go like, oh my God, ow. Like it like hurts me to think about it because I'm so embarrassed.
Oh, I roll around in my bed at night when I think about it. I'm like, oh, fuck. Shit. And I get so embarrassed. Even like it's like when you fart alone and you're like, you smell it and you're like, fuck, I'm so embarrassed. Like just for like myself. But
I always I will fart when I'm home alone. Here we go again with the fucking farts.
I know.
I will fart when I'm home alone and smell and be like, oh my God. Like out loud, I will look around like, anyone? Oh my God. Like, or even I've been telling John about this. I feel like I'm actually starting to become either an angry person or just like more like my father, because I am starting to get impulsively angry in situations and I will verbalize that I feel that way. Like I will be on the subway and like if something happens or someone bumps into me, I'll be like, oh fuck, come on. Like I'll say that.
oh wow,
in public.
I do that in my car.
Oh no, I've started to be the person who says it in public. Like a taxi will be bumping me, I'll be like, shut up, man. Like with people around me on the street.
Oh my God, how about us when we were driving back from Curly Pubes? Was it driving back? We were driving back home from Curly Pubes. There was a guy who wouldn't let us get over. And he was really gonna pour a drink on me because I was like, do you think we can get through it? He was like, I've been waiting here for an hour. And I'm like, you have not been waiting here for an hour.
We were leaving the city.
We were so close to him.
And my office where we shot the Curly Pubes music video is right outside the Holland Tunnel. So we got in our car and we were like already at the front of the line almost. And this guy, we were like, can you let us in, like into the lane? And he was like, no, I've been waiting an hour and a half. I'm not letting you in. And I was like, really?
I was
like,
taunting.
Really?
I was taunting him.
Yeah. And then so we started to be like, what
oh,
the fuck?
Boo-hoo, you've been waiting for an hour. I was like, let me in.
It's one fucking car. So then he like started
he threw his ice.
Well, yeah, we started to like taunt him a bit, and then he was like yelling at us, and I was like, what are you gonna do? What are you gonna do? And then he would like roll down his window, and it looked like he might get out of the car, and I got scared, and then he didn't. But then we finally, the person behind him led us in front of them, so now we're behind this guy, and we're giving him the finger like through the windshield, and this guy takes his iced coffee, like full thing of iced coffee, opens his sunroof and tosses the thing out the car as if for it to land on your windshield, and it flew way off to the side.
Can you imagine being in your car and like being that angry at someone who asks, like just simply asks, can I just get ahead of you?
See, yeah, no.
You're not gonna get where you need to be much faster if I get in front of you.
I never ever understand that.
There's actually never a moment when I'm on the road and someone has their blinker on and I speed up just to get past them.
No.
Like maybe sometimes, but like hardly ever. I usually brake and I'm like, go ahead.
Yeah,
Be a nice person.
I never ever get road rage. I get road rage, but I won't do anything about it. Like I'll be angry, but I'm not gonna like take action.
Yeah,
on my impatience.
I would never take action. I've been in the car when someone gets out and they start like yelling at you, and you're like in your car.
Oh, someone's gotten out on you?
Me and Austin were driving, and I don't remember what we did. Maybe we there was a yield sign and we just drove, and I guess we both drove at the same time, and so he got really pissed. We were at the Watchung Circle, and he got out of his car. He's like, "What the fuck's wrong?" I thought he was gonna take a fucking hammer and like break my windows.
Yeah.
And so right when one of the cars moved, we just like skid past him.
Oh my God!
So I was like, "This man is fucking bananas. He's gonna go ape shit."
There was a time with my family when we were in like New Hope, Pennsylvania, just like having a good day. Or like trying to. And my dad cut someone off. And I remember the guy like stopped us and got out of the car and came up to my dad's window. And in that moment I was like, is he going to kill my dad? Like I was young enough where I could think that it might. And I was so scared of this man. I really do have like an issue with fear.
Yeah, you get really scared easily.
I really think that like the worst case scenario is going to happen right now.
Well, really?
Like
and in the book, you were saying in the book you're reading the opposite, that like most people are pretty like optimistic.
No, when it comes to like scary people, like did I tell you? I told you this story last week, but I never told it on the podcast because we like didn't get to it.
Oh,
yeah. So
you gotta tell this.
So I told Pete this the day it happened because it was so bizarre. So I was at a rehearsal for one of the things I'm acting in, and in the thing I'm acting in, it's a bunch of people are around our age, and then there's this older character because he plays like the CEO of a company. I'm not going to put any names or anything in this because I'm just scared of anything going back and biting anyone in the ass. But so we had a rehearsal, and he's an older actor. He's like probably in his 60s. And we had we had a day on set with him like the week before, and a rehearsal with him, and everything was so normal. He was a little bit of a loose cannon, but like in a good way because he's supposed to play this like extreme boss and like, Yeah, I mean, he's a 60-something-year-old actor, like applying to like student films. Like, you got to be a little nuts, or
A little
like,
bit,
you know,
or just haven't like gotten to where you wanted to be in life, so you have to do that.
or who knows? There are some people who do it and like really enjoy it, but like you always have to. It always pops into your head of like, why are you doing this? It's unpaid, or maybe that he got paid. I don't even know if he got paid. So we're at this rehearsal last week. And I get there and I'm early, and then he gets there and basically just started acting so bizarre off the bat. He like was like walking into the doorway and was like, "Oh," and like hid in the doorway, and we were like, "Come in, like we're like here's the rehearsal." And he comes in and sits down, and he was like, the girl who's the showrunner for it was like, "I'm so glad your leg is okay." And I was like, "What?" And she was like, "Well, the camera stopped." She was like, "Well, I'm just really glad that your leg isn't severed." And he was like, "Oh yeah, that happens sometimes."
His
And
leg was severed?
Well, I found out later that he had sent an email the day before. "Sorry, I won't be able to make it to rehearsal. My leg is severed from my body." So then this man is like in this rehearsal. And then I said to him, because I had done a whole fucking scene with him the week before. Like, sure, he was a little weird, but like I was doing
still
work
normal,
with it.
and
Still
you could have a normal conversation with him.
And he had told, like, he was like, "Oh, that's great." Like, we were working together the previous week. So then he talks, I hear this leg thing, and I was like, what about your leg? What happened to your leg? And he was like, "I want to cut off my leg and give it as tribute to you. You're a star and I love you."
Oh.
And I was like, "What is," and he had like kind of crazy eyes on and was like kind of just being so weird. Then he was like, "We're here. I'm so happy. Aren't we just so happy we have a star here?" Like, about me. Then starts telling me he's in love with me. And then there were so many other
and immediately in your head, you're like, "Oh, he wants to kill me. He's obsessed with me and he wants to kill me."
Yeah. And then he asked to see my palms. And so I showed him my palms, and he was like, "Our palms are the same." And he got right up in my face and like pushed me when he told me he loved me. Like, he was getting very touchy and close with me. And when he came up to show me his palms, his breath reeked of like whiskey or something.
He sounds schizophrenic.
I've told this story to everybody because it's so crazy. And I was telling one of the other actors on the thing who wasn't there, and he was like, "I wonder if he went off his meds."
Yeah.
And
I said that. I remember saying that to you in the car.
Was it you?
Yeah, sorry.
Okay, so you said it. I remember someone else told me. Yeah, I mean, that makes sense if like he was on, like, if he's on medication and he like went off of his medication and came to this thing and just literally starts like, and also he had this look in his eyes that was, anyway, the point of what I'm saying is that like in that moment, like, I was thinking, I started getting a racing heart, and like I felt so bad for the girl whose thing it is.
Were you genuinely scared?
I was genuinely scared, and she was so apologetic afterward. It's like not her fault, but like in that moment, I started to fear for my safety and was literally like I wouldn't look at him because I was nervous that this man was gonna like get up and hit me or like do something really scary. It got to the point where the security person on the floor came into the room, and he went to the bathroom unannounced, just like got up and walked out.
Oh, no.
And the security guy came in and he was like, "Do you need us to remove him? Like, do we have to call public safety?" Because it was that bad.
Yeah.
But my point was that like I have so much fear and like mean world syndrome, like the fear that like everything you see in like movies like Taken and everything is actually real.
Yeah.
I have that syndrome. And so when he was doing that, my heart was like beating out of my chest, and I was like off for I came to John's show was right after, and I came and I told Pete the whole story, and I was like, I'm so shaken right now.
That's so
my
fucking
safety
scary.
was threatened.
But wait, but
then it's like, Emily, he's just a crazy person.
When he said my leg was severed, they still let him come?
Well, that's the default to truth thing, is like how we all human beings are taught to like brush away doubts in these crazy situations, because you're like, the odds that it's actually that crazy are low. He's probably like, so when they got that email the night before, they emailed him back and they were like, "Ha ha," like they thought like, okay, maybe he's joking.
He's doing a bit.
So they're like, "Ha ha," like, good one.
Yeah.
Like, I know you're probably joking, but like, we just have to ask, like, is everything okay? And he never answered.
For him to say it the night before and then come in the day after, and he's still thinking in his head that it was normal to say that his leg was severed, and he's still going along with that.
Well, yeah, so it's like he's not just drunk. Like,
No.
something else was wrong. They wound up recasting him because it was like a safety issue. And like when we left the rehearsal that night, we like, cause we obviously canceled it and like made up some excuse that it was over. And then we like got the security officer to like walk us out and make sure he wasn't like waiting outside for us. It was so fucking scary.
That's really scary.
It just shows you how, like, in those moments, you really do. Like, I kept justifying in my head, like, it's so crazy how while all of that was happening, I can't get a full sentence out. While all of that was happening, it was me and 2 other people in the room with him, we all were like kind of ignoring it and like moving on, because I think we were all trying to go like, something's off, but it's not that bad. And then after it happened, but after it happened and he left, we were all like, wait a minute, that was really bad. But like when you're in it, you're trying to deny because your brain is going like, it's so much easier to believe that like something's just a little weird than to go like, this is a dangerous situation.
Oh my gosh.
Do you know what I mean?
No, yeah, I get it. That's so scary though.
It was really scary. And then but
I don't think that's a situation that should be like, I feel like anyone would feel super scared from that happening. That's not just you being a scared person. That's anyone being scared.
Yeah, I know. No, I know.
Yeah.
Like anybody would be scared by it, but yeah, I guess that is true. So maybe I'm not that fearful of a person, but I don't know. Also the kind of person where like on the subway, if like someone like has too big of a bag and like keeps looking at it, I'll get off the subway.
Stoned once and you were running through the grocery store because you thought someone was following you?
Oh my God.
You texted me. I had to text you the whole way. You're like, he's following me, but you're like, I might have just been stoned.
Oh my God. Yeah. I think that was like kind of recently.
It was like maybe a year ago.
Yeah. I kind of do remember that happening, and I felt like I was being followed.
I get like that in my car. I am a scared person too. I live in fear.
I'm just so paranoid.
I'm like constantly driving in my car, and if someone makes like 2 turns that are the same as me, I'm like, they're going to follow me home and kill me.
Yeah, I get into my car leaving your house to go 2 minutes home in Warren, New Jersey, and I'm scared someone's in the car.
You make me watch me while you leave.
I make you watch me.
Yeah.
Last night, I like locked the apartment, like John wasn't home, and so I couldn't chain lock it. I chain lock my apartment every night, like just in case. And so he was coming home later, but I was going up to go to bed. So I didn't chain lock it, otherwise he couldn't get in. And I was upstairs and hearing like just the noises of a building that you hear. And I kept pausing Schitt's Creek to like listen if someone was in my house, because I was so convinced someone was in my house. And my heart started racing because I thought that since I didn't chain lock it, someone somehow got into my apartment in the 5 minutes between when I was down here and when upstairs.
I'm the type of person too, if I was in a situation where it was like life and death, I'd probably just die. Like if the world, like not even if the world's if the world's ending, I'm dying, obviously, because the world's ending. But like if someone were to come in my room with a knife, I don't even think I'd try and fight. I think I'd just be like, come in and stab me and make it quick.
Yeah.
Because I don't want to deal with this right now.
I feel like if someone took me in a room and pointed a gun to my head, they wouldn't have to shoot me because I would die from anxiety in that moment.
I would too.
I would die from fear right there.
I'm such a scared person. Can you believe that? Can you believe that we have our doors open in our house? We sleep with our doors open.
I was going to bring it up, but I was like, "Do you want me to put that on this podcast?" So at Sophia's house, they don't lock their doors.
We don't lock our doors.
Her front door is always open.
You're welcome.
How do you sleep like that?
I've been doing it since I was a baby.
I mean, I guess it just shows you that like the world isn't that bad and that mean. Every time I wake up,
they just see this house and they're like, "That's probably locked."
Yeah, that's true. Well, to be honest with you,
there's swans in a pond. It's probably locked.
Yeah, your house looks like it would have.
But
a
we
gate.
do have alarms, and if you come in and the alarm's on, which it's never on,
yeah.
But if you come in and the alarm's on, it goes, "We are now calling the police. We are now calling the police."
That's funny. We have that too, but we never need to use it because it's Warren. Knock on wood. Now my parents are going to get like burglared. Broken into.
Burglared.
I honestly feel more safe in New York City than I do in Warren. Is that weird? Like at night, walking out to my car in Warren, I am literally so terrified than when I walk home in New York City at night at like 2 a.m.
I mean, there's just so many people around.
Yeah.
There's nobody around in Warren, so nothing.
So it's
will
almost
be
like
seen.
it could be scarier.
Yeah, nothing. And I feel like a lot of shit happens in New Jersey. A lot of scary shit happens in New Jersey, and nothing bad happens
It's
here.
a bunch of like it's like a couple really scary incidences, and then the rest is normal. New York is like crime all the time everywhere, like at a low level.
Yeah.
Or is it? I don't know. I feel ignorant. we have questions.
Oh, questions.
Let's take some questions. So today we put on our story, we asked you guys to ask us some questions, and a bunch of you sent some in. So we're going to have Pete pick the best 3, and we're going to answer 3 questions. So
what are the best questions?
What's the first question we got? Should we do a little like questions with Sophia and Emily?
Oh, that's amazing.
Questions with Guffanti Brunettes. Do you believe in breaks in relationships or going through friend breakups?
What is the friend breakups?
Are the breaks in the relationship in friend relationships?
Or in relationships like boyfriend and girlfriend relationships? Should we answer both of them?
I guess. Well, I mean, my relationship I'm in, we had a big fat break.
Yeah. But I've always been the one to say I don't believe in breaks. In your case, yes. But usually, from my experience, if I want to break in a relationship, that's the easy way of me being like, listen, I don't want to be with you anymore. And I'm trying to just like back away slowly from this relationship.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Well, yeah, ours was like a dramatic movie scene of a breakup.
And it was a breakup. It wasn't really a break.
Right. We were saying we were breaking up. John claims that it was his idea all along that we would eventually get back together. But we broke up.
Yeah.
We were broken up for almost 2 years. So yes, I guess I do believe in breaks in relationships. I guess you're right. I guess it depends on like where it's coming from. If it feels like it's coming from a lack of interest, or like there's like a resentment being built, or like someone's avoiding the other, or there's like love is falling out of.
Yeah, I feel like I'd have to know about your relationship and what you two are like. Is it why do you need a break? Like, what is the break for?
Yeah. I mean, yeah, but if you want the short answer, I say yes, because that's what I'm in.
Yeah, if you need, I mean, if you're
I'm in part 2 of a relationship.
Yeah, so it depends. That's the answer.
It depends. And what was the second part of it? Friend breakups?
Friend breakups. I mean, that's a hard one. If I just don't want to be your friend anymore, I'll probably just stop talking to you. If you actually start talking about like, do you want, like, I don't know, a friend breakup.
I feel like I know girlfriends of mine who have gone through like friend breakups, and they always feel very toxic and codependent and almost like they were their own relationship.
Oh, wow.
Because I feel like when but I've also been, whenever I've been with John, it's much easier for me to like phase people out of my life, because it's just like easy when you have a boyfriend.
And
like,
you have someone with you all the time. So it's like you could be dependent on that one person and not need anyone else.
As an excuse to not be with these other people.
Exactly.
But I have never, like chosen to end a friendship. I feel like mine have fizzled out, but also I will avoid confrontation at all costs.
Same.
And so if me and a friend look like we're going to stop being friends, I will just start avoiding them, and I will never let them have the moment of we broke up.
Yeah, I mean, I think and I actually read this. I think that the best way to just, if you don't want to be friends with someone anymore and you feel like they're weighing down on your life, it's not bad to just like stop talking to them as much. You don't always have to be like, I don't want to be your friend anymore.
Yeah, I feel like it's worse if you like spell it out.
Yeah, I mean, they'll get it. When you just keep making excuses to be like, listen, I got something to do, I got work, I'm focused, like, they'll get it. And if they don't, they're fucking crazy.
Yeah, I've had 2 people like confront me about us not being friends anymore, and I literally no. When?
In middle school. We don't want to be your friend anymore.
Oh, no. I mean, they've confronted me of like, what the fuck? You totally stopped caring about me.
Oh.
Which is not funny, but kind of is.
Yeah.
Both of them were cancers.
Oh.
And they were, oh no, I'm sorry. One was a Cancer, one was a Virgo. Whatever. But they both like really blew up at me over text about like how I don't care about them anymore. And I was just like, I'm really sorry that you feel that way. Like it's not true, but like, I hope you know that you're a great person. Like, I'm like, what the fuck do you want me to say back to this? This is so embarrassing that you're like, that's embarrassing.
Yeah, if I get a long text message about my character and how I've been acting in our friendship,
I know
mean,
someone who did that to you, and I literally said to you,
Taurus.
I was like, ignore them.
The Taurus, right? Yeah. I mean, I was
like, ignore them. This is like the most gross behavior.
I mean, it was just so like manipulative and like trying to make me feel like everything I was doing was wrong. And the truth was that I just wanted to be friends and I didn't want to be in a relationship.
Oh, well, that's
and
a little different.
And I was very honest about that. And he couldn't handle that, so he just blew up at me. So I had to just...
and then it's also like, when it's one thing for people to confront you about something when you've wronged them, for them to confront you about like, how come you don't want to hang out with me anymore, is like, are you committing suicide here? Like mental suicide by asking someone why they don't want to see you anymore?
I know. And do you,
why would you do that?
You don't want to hear the answer to that.
Exactly.
You
So
really
why
don't.
would you ask? I never understood that.
I mean, that's the thing though about closure, that I never want closure. If someone's going to break up with me, I would love for you to do it in a text. I really appreciate that because I don't want to be in person.
I need the in person.
No, I just really don't like, I don't want to feel rejected in person like that.
Yeah.
I'd rather just go like,
yeah.
If you don't want to
That was
hang out with me,
actually-
if you don't want to talk to me, I fucking get it. And you did it right and I'll get over it.
Oh, no, not me.
Really?
I mean, but also when we broke up the first time, it was in person, and that was truly one of the most like traumatic days of my life. Like I have like terrible PTSD from that.
I remember you had a really hard time.
That day I did.
That day, and then you never stopped speaking. I mean, your relationship is very different.
Yeah, we shouldn't use it as a template. Pete, what's the next question?
The next question.
Next question.
Guys, how did you become friends?
How do we become friends?
Well,
You know.
head nod.
Yes. Thank God you said
Head
that.
nod and Warriors cheerleading when we were in elementary school.
4th grade, they started a new cheer squad because the old one, there was authority issues
Do you remember where we'd have our games?
at Watchung Hills.
Oh, no. We'd have our
the
games.
dirty field.
It was actually like where they would put like manure or something.
Yeah.
Like it was a shit field because Pop Warner had the good field.
Yeah, the Wolverines had the good field, and then they started the Junior Warriors and a new cheer squad. And so Sophia and I went to different elementary
We
schools.
cheered on manure.
On manure. We went to different elementary schools, but we live in the same town. Our town had 4 elementary schools. And then so in 4th grade, we were still in elementary school, and we met at cheerleading, and there was one cheer sequence. We were on the same cheer team where Sophia and I both had to run in front of all the people who were doing stunts and cross each other and each do a round off back handspring. And we never had talked to each other.
You could do a round off back handspring?
No.
It was a cartwheel.
So I don't know why
You
they
wanted
had
to
me
say
out
you
front
did.
doing that.
Well, we did a
I
cartwheel.
will lie to my grave that I ever could do a back handspring. I lied to Austin for about like 6 years of our friendship that like, no, I did have it at one point. I never had a...
I
In
lied that I
fact-
had my standing tuck to Austin because we just had to do that with him.
Yeah, we
to
had
feel
to lie to
a
him
little bit
to feel like we mattered.
Yeah.
I remember I fake broke my toe in the middle of cheerleading season because I was sick of trying to learn how to do a back handspring. So I pretended I broke it, and then like I got a cast.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
You really took the lie very far.
I did. But so we were on the cheerleading team, and so we had to do this thing where we cross each other in front of all the people doing the stunts. And we had never spoken to each other. We had this unspoken thing where the music would come in, and it was like, ready? Okay. And me and Sophia would always look at each other at that part in the routine and look at each other and go, this, da, da, and with our heads. And then we went and did the thing. And that was like the first time we like connected.
I don't even think we really became friends from that though, because I remember I left the Junior Warriors. I went back to Pop Warner. I was sick
You're
of
such a
cheering on
traitor.
that shit field.
Yeah.
It was a shit field. They literally like had dumpsters everywhere. It was disgusting. So I went to Pop Warner where they had me scream, ready! Because I had the really low voice. So I was always the one to be like, ready! Okay.
Yeah.
So I left.
Yeah,
But then when did we really like become friends and start hanging out?
I feel like I was invited to your 6th grade birthday party where I kissed JP Gavin in front of the whole school.
and everyone called you a slut, didn't
Everyone
they?
called me a slut. I was the first girl in the grade to be called a slut because I had my first kiss with my boyfriend in front of the whole party in the gazebo. Like everyone gathered and watched as we hooked up.
I remember doing that. I remember
Vividly.
watching.
I vividly remember it. And then I think like,
Then I think I dated him the week after.
yeah, we have a lot of the same boyfriends from childhood. I don't know. I think in 7th grade, like we started making music videos and hanging out. I think probably through Austin, actually.
I think it was through Austin.
Because me and Austin started singing together and became really good friends. And so naturally I became better friends with you, even though we knew each other.
Yeah.
And then we just became friends. But the cheerleading story, I think, is such
the
a cute
cheerleading
anecdote.
story is when we first met.
And we had a connection with that
Yeah.
little head nod.
And then I remember
9 years old.
And then I remember I left, and I would see you on everybody's AIM buddy, like on their buddy profile.
XO, M&M's XO.
Yeah, I would see like your name though, because you know how everyone had their best friends on their buddy profiles, and it was like Jordy, Emmy, all that shit, and I was like, Emmy, she has so
I
many
always
friends.
think, whenever I think of like popular girls, first name that comes to mind is either Jordan Mandel or Nicole Kostakis.
Oh, yeah,
So
the
the
most
fact that
popular.
You instantly said Jordy. Like,
Nicole, by the way, follows me again. Thank you. I needed you
used
to
to-
follow me back.
I used to have this bit that I would do on stage about how the way that I judge myself nowadays is still based on what the popular girl from my middle school would think of me.
Well, I always think this is a first date question
if
that I
she
ask,
likes
and
my
I think I have to
Instagram?
like take it out. Every first date that I have, I'm always like, "Who were you in high school?"
yeah, that's like not
it's a
nice
good-
for people who
weren't
weren't
anything special.
popular. Because even when someone asks me, I'm like, well, I wasn't tier 1, but like it's just as two. And then I think like all the coolest people in my life were not popular in high school. Like all my favorite people I love
Yeah.
were not cool.
Yeah,
Or not cool. They weren't like high school.
You
cool.
know what? Mine either. All my favorite people I love weren't popular in high school. I wasn't even in high school, really. People are like, who were you in high school? I'm like, wasn't there.
Yeah.
Was never there. I chose to
Who were
not
you in
show
high
up,
school?
and I would get a cappuccino in the morning made by my mom. She would bring me a cappuccino to my bed, and then I would
As
roll
you skipped
downstairs
school?
without a bra on, and I'd go take my Italian class.
God, you really balled out in high school.
I
How did you
did.
get away with that?
The same psychiatrist that I go to now.
Going to him and having like notes given?
Notes. Sophia will be out of school till further notice. And
She did that in high school and just like didn't go to high school.
And they paid for me. They paid for my schooling. It was actually really nice. I had one-on-one attention every morning and every
Did you really need it?
the homeschooling?
Like, do you think you could have gone to school?
I think I could have gone if my parents made me. They didn't fucking make me for the. I remember my dad trying to get me to go to school in the morning and pouring ice water on me and me still not getting up. Like there was no getting me out of my bed.
Oh my God.
And I was
See,
like, I'm
I
not-
could get away with like, I don't want to go. One time I had my dad, especially once my dad retired, because he retired like my sophomore year of high school and he would just want to hang out. So if I was like, Dad, I have really bad period cramps. Can you call me out? Like he'd like call the high school and be like, I'm coming to pick Emily up. But like in terms of like in general, that was more like when I got really like, they never had to worry about me with school. But like I would have a few hooky days, but never like, I feel like we've never really unpacked this.
Yeah, I mean, I think that it would have been really helpful if my parents would have made me go to school. I think my personality would my work ethic would have been a little bit different.
You have an amazing work ethic.
I do, but I think it's my parents let me get away with a lot.
Like-
it made me, I'm very I expect a lot from them because of it.
Like you expect a lot of support.
Support always.
Yeah.
My mom always had a meal made for me.
Yeah.
So I actually, and it's something that's still, I get upset with my brother because he does the same thing and he's 28, but I'm the same way. And I get so mad at all the things that he does that I do. And if my mom doesn't have dinner ready for me at night, I lose it. I get
no, really?
I get upset. I really, but I've been trying to make an effort to not get upset. When I moved out for a little bit, I did do everything on my own. But when I'm at home and I know my mom's there, I'm like, you don't have salmon on the grill for me?
Oh my God.
I'm like, why don't you have salmon on the grill for me?
But I mean, it kind of makes sense if that's how you've always lived.
Yeah, but it's a problem as you get older.
Yeah.
For sure.
I think so.
Yeah. I think that I'm trying to change it.
No, I mean,
I'm trying to make some changes.
I obviously love you and think you're so perfect. So I'm not I don't want to shit on you.
You could take a shit on me because
I'm not
need it.
shitting on you. I don't think that is makes you a terrible person. Like you're obviously so amazing. And so I think I just literally am the most independent I've ever been in my life right now from my parents. So it's hard for me to fathom the idea that you come home every night to dinner made.
They want me to, they love doing that for me.
Yeah.
But if they, like, my mom's like, I'm not doing dinner tonight. I'm like, okay. And I can feel myself. I don't yell at her, but I get pissed off, like, in my head. And I'm like, I shouldn't be pissed off about this. Just make your own food, Sophia. Boil your own broccoli, make your own salmon.
Oh
but
my
I'm like,
God.
she's going to do this.
No way.
She's going to do this.
I mean, sometimes-
but it's how every single person in my family acts. So I know it's not just me.
No, it's
They've
definitely a
done this.
result of like the environment.
They've trained me to be ungrateful.
Well,
They really have. I told them, I was like, maybe if you would have just like raised me a little differently, I would be more grateful.
well, I feel like, first of all, the fact that you're aware of this, you could change it, even though
I am changing it.
Did we do 3 questions?
We only did 2.
Okay. Was that like 10 minutes left, or we're at an hour?
We're at 155.
155?
We're at 50.
Oh, 50,
Oh my God,
no,
I was
no,
like
no.
2 hours?
Okay. I feel like when I go to your house, there's always something gourmet in the fridge.
Always.
Endless wine. And I'm always allowed, it's like my house.
Oh yeah, you could go right in the fridge.
So I will acknowledge that your parents do create that environment of like, you will be taken care of in this home.
I know, and it's really hard to get away from it.
I know.
You move out and you're like, well, I could choose an easier lifestyle if I want.
I mean, I wouldn't see. I would do the same thing if I was still living in New Jersey. I would totally still live at my house and not pay rent. I think it's because I need to be in New York that
Yeah.
like I don't live at home.
Yeah.
Otherwise, I would too.
Well, that's good to know that you would choose that if you were in New Jersey.
I mean, yeah. Every time I go home, like if I go home to visit my home and there's not like an abundance of snacks and like my sheets are clean, like if
I feel
my
bad
family
about
has
it.
not
Do you
prepared,
see how I feel bad about it though? I do
Yeah.
feel really bad about it. I'm like, I don't want to be, because I know the way I was raised has made me very I expect a lot from my parents. And I feel like it changes my perspective in social settings too.
I mean,
Because I just have high expectations.
right. No, I want to agree with you. I feel like I was raised, a lot of how I was raised, like I got a lot of like real world check when I moved
you moved out.
But so like I sympathize, and I think there are still things that like the day my dad, this is going to sound so spoiled, but like when my dad tells me I have to pay for my phone bill, I'm going to be like, what? I pay for everything else in my life. Is that not enough? But like, oh my God, so many people don't even have like,
Yeah,
I can recognize that as crazy, but then I go like, but pay my fucking phone bill.
I pay my car insurance.
No,
I
I
pay Netflix for them.
I think there's something. Oh, that's nice.
Yeah.
That's actually
Yeah.
nice. I feel like there is something to be said about like if you are raised in a certain way, there are certain things you become aware of due to your own life changing and
Yeah.
being different from how you grew up. But there are certain things that like you just understand to be normal in your life. And I feel like we probably have a lot of the same things for that and a couple different things, but like it's not, I think it's wrong to create this like shameful dialogue around it of like, I should be so embarrassed that I feel this way. Cause it's like, that's how you were raised. And the fact that you're aware of it is enough.
Yeah, I think just never being forced to do anything that was like being. I know that when I have kids, I will make them go to school. There was no
Yeah.
reason I couldn't go.
Yeah, that is something that like I think
Sophia's depressed. Like, okay, well, she should go to school. Sophia's sad. She doesn't want to go to school. She can't. Sophia's fine. Sophia could fucking go. So like, you make her go. You put her in the car and you make her go. I was
Yeah.
like, wait, I'm doing my makeup. I was like, I would do my makeup for hours just so I didn't have to go. And then I'd be like, Mom, can we go to the Cheesecake Factory? Like,
oh my God.
like it was really like that. And she'd be like, okay, fine. And
It's
we'd go to the
really
Cheesecake Factory and she'd
such
feed
an-
me wine.
it's like such an interesting fact about you is that you didn't go to high school.
I'll always choose a good time.
And with that, what have you learned this episode?
I've learned a lot about my upbringing and how it's affected my life now. Mm-hmm. But I'm in control of it and I could change it.
You are in control of it and you can change it.
What did you learn, Em?
What did I learn? I guess I learned that I'm starting to like to shop.
Oh, I love that. I would love to go shopping with you.
Oh, see, no. Going in person feels like a burden. It's a lot of fun online.
Well, can we both have 2 laptops right next to each other and just be clicking away?
Yeah, I would do
adding
that
to
with
our
you.
cart. Like, do you like this, Em?
I would do that with you.
I would love that. I also learned that I'm not going to let the Jehovah's Witnesses in my house anymore.
Yeah, I don't think you should.
I'm not going to offer them coffee. Maybe I'll bring them a to-go cup when I tell them that I'm not interested.
Yeah.
Next Wednesday.
And they just have to accept it.
Yeah.
You need some closure with the Jehovah's Witnesses.
Is suffering forever? Yes.
Yeah.
You're about to suffer right now when I tell you I don't want to be part of your religion.
And that's okay. Thank you so much for listening to Guffanti Brunettes. I hope you guys have a great week, great
Thank you,
day.
Gooffanters.
Gooffanters.
Gooffanters. Good
Out.
night.